Hey everybody, this is Chris, and I just want to show you guys a couple of updates I've made to my world that I'll be putting up for download. Uh, Two things in particular though are my new mob trap and my cart ladder that I've created. So just a quick view here from my backyard. You can see I've added a hot air balloon, which is kind of neat, and I've changed my first mob trap I'm calling that trap 1 because now I have trap 2, which is off in the distance there, and we'll be going there in just a moment. But first, let me show you this minecart ladder. I think this is something a lot of people have already figured out, but maybe you haven't seen this yet, so it might be useful to you. I've got a little example built right out here. So as you guys know, water ladders don't work anymore, so we need an efficient way to get up. And this is a very simple way of doing it. It does require a lot of iron because you got to make a lot of mine carts, but I think the benefits are really worth it. So basically what it is just a mine cart that is sitting on a ladder. So you just basically create a block, put a piece of track on it, set the mine cart on the track, and then you destroy the block, which removes the block and the track, and then the mine cart falls into the space where the ladder is, and then it sits there and it won't move. And all you do to use this is just stand underneath it and you right click and you move into the cart. So you basically go up a level. And this is really nice because you can just go up one level at a time if you want. But the other nice thing about it is that once you're at the top, you just click the track or click the cart and you're on the top level. It's also very fast. So let me show you a practical example of it down in my mine. So this is my main mine and warehouse facility. And it's pretty deep. It's down around level 12 or level 10. So right here I'm just going to drop down into my mine using this water break here. Alright, so now we're down really deep in the ground. And here you see I've set up the minecart ladder. And watch how fast it takes me to go up about 50 to 60 blocks. Ready? Here we go. That's it. Maybe about a second and a half. And I'm at the top. It's very fast. So that is a minecart ladder. Very efficient way of moving up and down. You can fall through the ladders too. I'll show you that real quick here. I guess if you really want to conserve space, it's kind of slow, but if you click on the cart you're standing on, right click on it, you'll just kind of fall through them like this. So that's another way down. I still think, a water break is still the best way to go though. Alright. So now on to the main event, which is my new mob trap, which is awesome. You can see it over here in the distance here in just a moment. It's very big. I had to build it in a certain area of my world that was almost completely devoid of caves. I used Minutor, which is a program that lets you map your world, and I found an area of my world that's almost completely devoid of caves, and it luckily wasn't very far from my spawn. And that's important if you want these kinds of mob traps to work efficiently. I'll show you a picture here. I think I can insert a picture right here of my world. And you can see the dark spots are where there are no caves. So anyway, so here it is. This is Trap 2. This is based on BioFactory 3 Minimum Edition, which I'll include a link in the description, which you can find in the Minecraft forums. I did make a couple of adjustments to its spawn floor layout, which I'll show you in a moment. But this is it. This is a BioFactory 2. I call it Trap 2. You see I've got a little entrance here to get down into its own warehouse. And I built some cool windows here so you can watch it in action. So let me turn on the mobs and you will see something really cool. So alright, here we go. I'm going to walk over here. As I stand here, you can just watch the mobs come on in. The reason this mob trap works so well is that the mobs don't have very long to live. They basically spawn on dark floors up above. They take about 1 or 2 steps and then they fall. And the moment they hit the ground, 95% of the time they'll die. Which means that once they die, a new one will spawn up above, and the cycle just repeats, and you get tons and tons of goodies. I do have a couple of, there are a couple of lava grinders underneath there to prevent any that do survive. Just basically kills them if they fall through. But that's this. It's trap 2. It's pretty cool. Let's go check out the where you receive the items and the warehouse I made for it. Alright. So I built this nice little warehouse down here to get all the goodies that come out of it, and you can just see them raining down here. In fact, you got to be careful with this mob trap. It's so efficient that the stuff will actually kind of build up here, and if you don't pick it up, it'll actually slow your game down with all the physics objects bouncing here, so pick those up. And just stand here and collect the goodies. Pretty awesome. And I don't know, I think I've only had this thing on for about a minute so far, and you can just see how much stuff I've collected. Look at this. You know, basically I've already got a stack of gunpowder, a stack of feathers, almost a stack of bone, almost a stack of arrows, and it's been just less than a minute or so. It's super effective. So I'll go ahead and turn it off here, and then I'll show you one of the spawn floors, and then we'll be done. I've actually killed all the mobs, but the stuff you're hearing up there is the... wait, did I? Yeah, I did. Okay. The stuff you're hearing up there is all the items still falling in that that are still coming. This is stuff that was left over after I turned off the mobs. Pretty awesome. Alright. I think that should be just about it. Alright. So let's go ahead and put this stuff away. This is why I created so many chests down here. There's so much stuff that you get out of this trap. You're going to need a lot of space to store it all. Alright, and the arrows, and we'll be done. Okay, so let's take a look at the spawn floors so you get an idea of how to build this. Now, the hardest thing about building this trap, and like I said, you can find the instructions on the Minecraft forums, is you're going to need a lot of signs. Because the trick to making this trap work is this. There are a bunch of spawn floors up high in the air. Now, mobs are smart. They won't actually walk off a cliff and die. They're too smart to do that. However, if you place a sign along the edge of the cliff, the mobs will think the sign is a solid block that they can walk onto, but they can't, and they fall. And that's how it works. So I'll go up to the top floor here, give you an idea what it looks like. Okay. So here's basically one of the mob floors. Let me put some lights in here so you can see. It's not too complicated. It's just basically 2 3-wide slabs, and then on either side of the slabs there are these signs. Now for 12 spawn floors, that's about 600 signs you have to make, and that's the hardest part of making this mob trap, and I had to make them all, and my whole world's legit, so that was a lot of signs to make, and you can't stack them, so you have to put them on, you know, one at a time. But there you go, that's all it is. The mobs spawn on these little spaces, they walk to the edge here almost immediately, and then they think they can stand on the sign, they can't, and they fall and they die. So that is my new trap, and I hope that you enjoyed this video and found it useful. Again, I think this is about the best trap I've seen, at least the most efficient one. And again, the trick is you've got to make sure you build it in a place where there are no caves if you want it to be really effective. And you know, obviously it runs better at daytime. So there you go. Thanks for watching.